Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. If you haven't already guessed, today we'll be making birthday cards. Everything you see on these cards except the little jewels is ink. The background is a technique called ink smooshing, and the sentiments are done with ink blending. There's so many possibilities with this, so I'm really excited to get started. Let's talk about supplies. I highly recommend distress inks and distress oxides for this project because they're made specifically to react with water. You're going to want a non-porous surface. I'm using my acrylic stamp block, ink blenders, a spray bottle of water, a heat tool, but it's optional. You can also let your project dry overnight. You can make any size cards you'd like. I have an A2 size card base with a slightly smaller piece of paper as the card front. I use these die cuts by Spellbinders to die cut Happy Birthday using my Sizzix Big Shot machine. You'll need glue of your choice. I'm using this Tombow Mono Dots Adhesive Glue Runner. You'll need scissors or a paper trimmer for cutting your card front. It's optional, but I'm using 3D foam adhesive tape to make my sentiment pop off my card. And I'm using non-stick scissors to cut the tape. And lastly, I'm using these little jeweled stickers from Dollar Tree, but you can use any embellishments that you'd like. So now the fun begins. This technique is called ink smooshing, and that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to take my ink and I'm going to press and twist the colors onto my surface. You can use any combination of colors that you'd like. It's really fun to experiment with this. And after you're happy with the placement of your colors, you're going to take your spray bottle and lightly spritz your ink. Now take your card front and you're just going to push it right into the ink. If you see any areas that you want to add more ink to, you can easily just drop your paper back down and pick up some more ink. I think this card needs a little more ink coverage, so I'm going to add a little more blue, spray it down again, and put my card right back into the ink. You could also let each layer of ink or each color of ink dry completely before adding more ink, and it's really fun to experiment and see all the different results you can get. I really like how this one turned out, so I'm going to take my heat tool and dry my ink completely. Now I'm going to work on a second card. I'm going to add some green this time, and I'm going to do the same exact thing that I did before. If you're curious about any of the inks that I'm using today, I will have all the names in the description box. I'm really loving the color combination on this one. It's so vibrant and happy. If you grew up in the 90s like me, you probably remember Lisa Frank, and this is kind of what it's reminding me of, and it's making me really happy. I really love the first one as well. Blue and purple are my favorite colors, and I love how they're completely different even with the same technique being used. And as I'm admiring my cards, I'm thinking about the placement, which direction I'm going to have them face, and how I think they would look best on my card. Once you've decided on a placement, it's time to glue them down. Now that my card fronts are glued on, it's time to work on the happy birthday sentiments. I'm going to start with my blue and purple card, and I'm going to take my ink blenders and ink blend the background of the silhouette for the sentiment. Using the same blue ink that I used on my card, I'm going to take the ink blender with ink, and I'm going to move in a circular motion over the paper. I like to add a little bit of ink around the edges to give it a border and a little more definition, so that's what you're going to see me do now. For the happy birthday sentiment, I'm going to ink blend purple into blue. Depending on the thickness of the paper used, the areas where the letters of the die cuts connect could be pretty fragile. So where I would normally go in a circular motion to ink blend, you might also see me dab the ink on straight in because I don't want to hurt the paper. I really like the ink blending of the happy, but I don't love the background silhouette because it's a little harsh. So I'm gonna ink blend another one and not cover it completely with ink. I'm just gonna mostly go around the edges. Since the word happy goes from purple to blue, I think it would be kind of interesting if the background silhouette goes from blue to purple. So I'm gonna ink blend those colors together around the outside, leaving white so that the happy can kind of stand out. Okay, I think that looks so much better, and that really does make me happy. Now I'm going to ink blend the edges of the birthday silhouette. I'm going to blend purple into blue, and when I go to blend the birthday text, I'm going to go from blue to purple because I think it would really stand out and contrast against each other. Now I'm going to take my glue runner and I'm going to gently add glue to the back of my die cut sentiments. Be really careful because, again, depending on the thickness of your paper, they could be pretty fragile. I'm going to do my best to line the letters up with the silhouette behind them, and then I'm going to put them onto my card. You could just add glue right to the back of the silhouette and add them to your card, but to make them pop a little bit, I'm going to use foam tape and I'm going to cut them with my nonstick scissors. This is totally optional, but I'm going to add some of that purple ink and go all the way around the edges of my card just to give it a nice little frame. Now I'm going to work on the sentiments for my second card. I used 3 main colors for this card: blue, purple, and green. So for the sentiments, I'm going to ink blend all 3 colors. I'm starting on the background silhouette for happy. I'm going to go from blue to green to purple. And then for the happy die cut, I'm going to go from purple to blue to green. I totally love this. To some people, this might be a little overkill, a little much, but I really enjoy the color contrast, and I think it looks so pretty and it's so different. For my birthday word, I'm going from blue to green to purple, and then for the silhouette to contrast, I'm going from purple to blue to green. Okay, now I'm gonna do something I've never done, which is add 3 different colors of ink to the edges of my card. I kind of hesitated and wasn't sure if I wanted to do it because I didn't want to ruin my card, but then I just went for it because this card is already so colorful, I might as well. For final touches, I have these little jump stickers I got at Dollar Tree. I'm just gonna experiment and place the stickers on different areas of the card and just see what looks best. Here are my finished cards! I love this technique because it's so easy to make something custom, but also totally one of a kind because no 2 cards are ever going to turn out exactly the same. I'm so happy you joined me today. Leave me a comment and let me know which of these cards was your favorite and what color combinations would you choose for your card. To see more of my ink blended cards, check out this playlist where you'll see one of my favorite cards ever, a sunflower. Until next time!